What it do, YouTube? You know what it is.
It's your friendly neighborhood RX1s.
So I was thinking about some stuff. It's a pivotal point in my life, and I was looking at my old sketchbooks, and I started thinking about this time that I was tattooing while I was homeless, and I wanted to share the story with you. So buckle up, bitch. It's gonna be a long one. For real, buckle up, bitch. Buckle up, bitch. I'll turn this motherfucker around. What it do, you? What it do, YouTube? You know what it is. Friendly neighborhood RX1's here. So we're gonna talk about this things happened in this time, and basically I was homeless doing tattoos. And here's how that happened. So I got out of jail after doing like 91 days, I think, for stealing beer and resisting arrest. And so I was homeless. I really had to like start my whole life over again. And so I think what I did is I panhandled and got some bread up and then got a hotel room. And then one of my homeboys hit me up. He's like, I'm gonna come over and smoke some weed with you. But yeah, okay. So we were sitting there talking chopping it up, whatever. And I expressed how I needed to find a little side hustle and start making money because, you know, panhandling in the same town that I had previously been panhandling right before I got locked up, before that 90 days. So, you know, I was trying to find like something that's going to elevate me, my next move, you know. So I was telling him, I was like, you know, while I was in jail, I was drawing and trading for honey buns and like stamps and letters and stuff. I was drawing the medicine lady. Yeah, it had been so long since I seen a woman. I just started drawing the lady that brought us our medicines. And trading it off for, you know, jail stuff. All right, but anyways, yeah, so I tell him, like, yeah, I gotta find a way to make some money. Dudes in jail been telling me about I should do tattoos. So he goes, my sister gave me a shoebox full of tattoo machines and ink and needles and everything you need. He's like, when we put this blunt out, I'll go get it. And he sure enough did. Put the blunt out. About an hour later, he's walking back to this little hotel room that I use panhandling money to get. Comes up with his shoebox and he's like, check it out. I'm looking through it. I'm like, damn, it is like everything you would need to do tattoos, with the exception of like hygiene stuff, gloves, alcohol, soaps. So it's like, yeah, now all you need is customers. I'm like, yeah, I guess so, but give me some time to figure this machine out. I think he gave me about an hour to figure out this machine. And there was a drugstore right by the hotel, so I ran over there. I got a thing of paper towels. Actually, I probably didn't get paper towels. I did get the alcohol to clean up the machines a little. And I did like one squiggly line on my leg. And I was like, all right, I guess I got it. You know, I could do simple stuff right now. So he got some of his gang friends, like friends that was in a gang. I'm thinking, cool, yeah. I'm just going to do like some little folk symbols, some little Crip symbols. But I ain't doing no bloods. So actually what the dude wanted was a dragon. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, here I am thinking I'm about to just do a little C. Big old capital C. I could do that, boy. Hell yeah. I could freestyle that all day. No, this motherfucker wants a dragon. So I'm like, God damn. I run across the street to the library to print up a picture of a dragon, trace it with a ballpoint big pen, use some jail deodorant to trace on his skin and transfer that image, and barely had this machine working, but I did do the dragon. It was just barely there. I think I got a picture of it. I'm gonna put that up here. So yeah, after that, I really wanted that to be my next gig, you know, and I kind of did turn it into my next gig for about the next 3 to 5 years. I also like asked all the local tattoo shops for an apprenticeship, and it just didn't work out at the time. They were either full, or maybe they just knew I was a criminal. But at the time, I was also working on like tattoo related artwork for my sketchbook, so I had like some good artwork to show them. And if I told them I was tattooing, they would kind of shun me. They were real gatekeepy about the tattooing and getting an apprenticeship. Yeah, it was like real like tight circle to get in. Like all the people knew each other for a long time. So see, I wanted to take it serious. A few things I wanted to make sure nobody got sick, nobody got hepatitis, some kind of bad infection from the shitty ink I was using. And I didn't want to do no bad work. At this time, I was already 20 years into my art career doing, every once in a while I'd make $500 doing murals, graffiti murals. Then I used the leftover paint to go paint trains just for like a hobby, just to get rid of the bullshit and stress, It was very therapeutic painting trains. But I didn't have any mural things coming through, so kind of focused on that tattoo job. So I started like watching hours and hours. Like I probably got hundreds of hours watching YouTube videos on how to tattoo. And I did a lot of practicing on myself. My experience with tattooing was illegal in South Carolina up until I was like 20 years old. And then when I was 20 years old, it was expensive, I come from poor folk, I never had money. So I spent $150 on that little Jack Skeleton thing. I was like, that's a lot of damn money, and it's right there where I could have did it. Yeah, so several years later, I got into tattooing, and so basically, that dude that introduced me or gave me the gun or the machine, and then my first customer, he kept like bringing customers, and I was living out of hotels. The one time the hotel lady like told me as I was checking in, she's like, "Do not use our towels to wipe up that ink." It's like, "You have ruined 5 towels since you've been staying here." So like, it was so loud, the table, the tattoo table where I was tattooing at was right by the door, and anybody walking down the hotel just music blasted. So I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out, but I'm sure I did get kicked out once or twice, because that's what I was doing. Whenever the tattoo money wasn't coming in, I'd just go out there and panhandle. And at the same time, I had a tent in the woods. So like whenever there was no money coming, I would just go to my tent. And also at my tent, I just had like bags and bags of clothes. I had my sketchbooks just like chilling in a tent. And I still have those sketchbooks, which is crazy. I'm actually about to throw them away because I need to lighten my load. But it's like 20 years worth of artwork that I somehow saved up through several times being homeless. Well, one time I left it at my dad's, and I just had like 1 or 2 sketchbooks with me. So I did start getting a little bit better at it. Now, at the same time, I was struggling with Xanax and heroin addiction. So, well, not at first. When I first got out of jail, I was trying to be sober. There was some time when I wasn't even smoking weed. I think I got past that. Like, this isn't going to work. I need some reefer. But I just stay away from the hard drugs like heroin. And then eventually I just fell into it because just a bunch of shit was going bad in my life. No positivity, and I'm like breaking the law every time I panhandle, do murals. You're supposed to have a permit for that. Like every bit of income for me was illegal. illegal sources of income. Well, just because it's not taxed, well, some of it was off of, like criminal things, I guess. But so yeah, in the later years, which is about 3 or 4 years into doing tattoos, I would end up giving like some 50 and 60-year-olds their very first tattoos. And luckily at this point, I was pretty decent at it. And like I could envision something in my head and put it on somebody's skin. Well, maybe not as fully detailed, as vivid as my imagination, but they would be, happy. And there was a time, so I was dating this prostitute for about a year, and how we met is she was a bartender, and she was like, "Oh, you do tattoos? Somebody told me you do tattoos." I'm like, "Yeah." And eventually she called me. She was married. She ended up like flirting with me, and then we got busy. And then as soon as we were done getting busy, she got on the phone with her husband and was like, "I'm in love with him." I'm like, "No, don't do that. Yeah. He's going to take care of you. You have kids with him. I'm just a fucking junkie tattoo artist. Please do not lean on me like that." Not right now. But anyways, like it was a lot of practice just being with her, because I did this whole like Halloween themed leg. Like it started with just like some names and a heart, and she was like, "I want to make it a leg sleeve." So just a whole year of being with her, coming up with new ideas, tattooing every time I see her. Nope, not every time, but almost every time. I ended up meeting some really weird people, because I was kind of advertising in the public that I was doing tattoos, and like word of mouth, people getting around. So I ended up dealing with some really trashy people. Like these are the type of people that like don't go to tattoo shops for several reasons. Maybe they're can't stop doing drugs, can't stop smoking cigarettes, for 2 hours. They not gonna pay $150 for a little tattoo piece, and I'm like, I guess I'll do it for 50 or 60. Case of beer and $30. Sucks that I did that. Like sometimes I charge like $100 and do like a badass like piece that took half a day or 2 sessions. Like, well, you already paid me what I said it was gonna be, so this time it's just touch ups for free. But so I feel bad about it for several reasons. Nobody really ever got sick. I think I did have one infection, and I blame that on the person. I think he used like some scented lotion on it. Shit just peeled right up, man. Like at the same time, my machine wasn't working too good at that time, just because my neglect to learn. But that tattoo did get fucked up. But that's like 1 out of 100. I took pictures of just about everything I did, because I needed that for like reference. But there were some that I would do. I just never see that person again, not get a picture, be nervous. The one thing about tattooing, I never really like people and strangers and social interactions. So it was really hard for me. So I have to work right up under somebody on them. And like there was one time I had somebody like jerking the whole time, like I'm trying to be nice. At the same time, I'm a quarter way into this tattoo, and I'm just like, I don't want to give up. I don't want to leave you with this little half-ass tattoo. Let me finish it. But it was such a fucking hassle, because like, oh god. Like another person was smoking meth while I'm tattooing. I'm like, please, can you wait till I finish the tattoo to smoke the meth? This time when he was smoking that meth, I feel like I got a contact from it, because I just started getting really irate. And I don't know if it was because like this motherfucker smoking meth, he's being real disrespectful, or if that meth got in me, because I'm like trying not to breathe, holding my breath for a long time, that at one point I had to go and breathe in a whole lot of air. So I think I did get meth contact. And I've tried meth like 4 or 5 times in my life when I got bored. It ain't for me, dog. I like relaxing. I like my little chill. uh, so one of the absolute worst times, uh, I had some train hopper friends come through Florence and they were behind a church. So I call up my buddy. I said, hey man, come pick up my little train hopper friends. We'll get some Chinese food. I need to grab one little bag of heroin and we'll kick it at the house. So that's what we did. They were like, please don't get that heroin, Ryan. I'm like, nah, man, it's been like 4 or 5 days. I need something to calm down. Plus, it's social. I'm trying to be social, so I need this heroin. Well, the dude wanted a tattoo. So, like, what you want? He's like, just dots above my eyebrow. I'm like, yeah, that's easy enough. But let me do some heroin so my hands stop shaking. I was just going to do a little bit. I probably did like a third or a half of the bag of heroin. And, it's just starting to get kicked down. I'm getting set up. I'm being social. We set up. I'm sitting by the bathroom sink. He's in the doorway of the bathroom, so the light is shining on him. And we got all the chairs. I'm like leaning into his face, and I'm high as shit. I just got to do these little dots. So I have them like marked out with Sharpies already. But every time I go to do this dot, I'm like, oh, one's a little bigger, so I got to go back and make this one a little bigger. I'm like 45 minutes into this shit and I'm not even done with the first eyebrow. And I got to keep going back and like making dots bigger because I fucked up. Eventually I pass out with the tattoo machine holding this man's face. And I hear, Ryan. I go, oh, well, what's up? He's like, were you asleep? I'm like, no, man, no. The dude that I'm tattooing is like, I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. He's probably like 6'5", 300 pounds. Grimy as hell. No, he'll beat my ass if I fuck up this tattoo on his face. I'm like, nah, man, I wasn't asleep. I was concentrating. You didn't see me concentrating? But no, I think everybody knew, except the dude that I was tattooing. And the looks from everybody in the room just looking at me. Like, we told you not to do that damn heroin. Now you passing out doing face tattoos. Yeah, so he had these like weird Mickey Mouse dots on his eyebrows. Oh, I'm so high. I'm like, it looks good, dog. Like, I think it looks good. Yeah, let it heal up. It's gonna look good when it heals, brother. I try not to laugh. But anyways, yeah, so I did do some good things towards the end. And then at the same time, my vision's starting to go bad and my hands is kind of shaky. So about a few years ago, I just kind of stopped doing it, art altogether, really, just because of my eyesight and my hands shaking. I feel like my talent is, jeopardized. So my work isn't as clean. And, I've always been my biggest critic as far as like doing clean lines. I want to do clean, good work. But, lately the lines is jiggly. So yeah, I quit. The point of this video is, I see a lot of people, getting little tattoo machines and starting to tattoo their friends. And, just do a lot of research, man. People can get, diseases and infections really easily. I'm very lucky that I didn't get one myself. Hopefully nobody I tattooed, got sick. I haven't heard from nobody about it. And I pretty much tried to stay on top of that sterilization. If I didn't have gloves, napkins, wrap, alcohol, always cleaning my machines, use the needle one time, don't try not to reuse anything. Yeah, but just do your research on keeping it safe. And, you're tattooing people and friends, and it's forever. So just take your time and let them know that you might not be doing the best job. That was one thing, I always let people know, like, look, it's on me. Like, you see how my tattoo work is. It's not that damn great. I mean, these are some of the better ones. I tattooed that on a old man for his first tattoo. That's how I had to do it. Just like that. I got them all over me, man. And like, I practice on myself just so I could, like, when people say, oh, you do tattoos, I'll say, yeah, but look, this is the work that I do. Like, look right here, look right here. Like, it's not great. I'm capable of fucking up. But no, towards the end, I started telling friends, like, go to a shop, man, it's worth it. Which a lot of times it is. Look, a man charged me $100 for this. $100. $150 for this. It just says homesick. Just simple, or like cholo letters. $150. It's $250 to get these two. The shops charge a lot. Me, I probably charge $120 to do that. It wouldn't look as good though. So that's where and it's permanent. So it's, I have a friend that started doing tattoos. He was actually my mentor back doing, like, when I was doing artwork, selling canvases and graffiti. He did this little thing, very fine lines, and it's held up compared to like that. I did that 3 years before that one, and it's fading bad, boy. It's fading bad. I did that. Look at bald pussy, hairless cat. It's got a little hair on it. I need to shave it. Anyways, man, I hope you enjoyed this little story time about me tattooing when I was homeless.
What it do, YouTube? You know what it is. It's your friendly neighborhood RX Woods. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like or subscribe, leave a comment. Hope.